I was catching up on some security news and I noticed that NordVPN had suffered a data breach, and 19 months ago. So yeah, that took them a while to notice, quite a way above the average time to respond to a cybersecurity incident. So NordVPN, well, if ever there's a company that pumps lots of money into advertising, kind of like Grammarly, another of these things that you don't really need, but somehow they managed to convince lots of people that they are an absolutely essential item. Well, I have done a video discussing the purposes of why most people don't need a VPN, so feel free to watch that to get an idea of just how unnecessary they are. But they do have their uses, I will give them that. But for the most part, no. So they suffered a data breach against a single server where the hackers managed to get root access and almost unfettered control over the server. They could read or modify just about any data stored on it. One of the three private keys was leaked and used to secure digital certificates that provided HTTPS encryption for NordVPN.com. So there's a concern that they could have been used in a man-in-the-middle attack, which would have been a very specific attack against single individuals, not necessarily a widespread attack on the entire user base. So that was one source, and just looking at another, and yeah, they do seem to mention that, VPNs are a shadowy world. We use them to protect internet traffic when we're on a network we don't trust, but we're forced to trust a VPN instead. Recommendations are hard. NordVPN's website says the company is based in Panama. Do we have any reason to trust it at all? Are they just based in Panama for tax purposes? But I'm guessing from their name, they were originally from one of the Nordic countries. And certainly looks like that with some of the people who have contributed to blogs. Which is just coincidental because one of the servers that was breached was in Finland. So they've written up a nice timeline. I'm thinking, this is a really good job. I could actually praise them for this, and I was hoping to just mock them for the entire thing. But they've actually done a really good job of recording the incident. But I'll still mock them for how long it took to find. So their incident timeline, and I will note that they're really trying to downplay this whole incident. So the affected server was bought online 31st of January 2018, but evidence shows the breach first occurred 5th of March through one of their third parties. And their third party deleted the account that would have been used to abuse this server. So they deleted that on the 20th of March, so 15 days. But they were notified about the breach, or more likely found it on internal audit, on the 13th of April 2019. We shredded the server that same day. Well, I suppose you couldn't really have done much to get any data off the server by that point. I'm sure it would have been well and truly overwritten. Because I was thinking, why did they rush to shred it? Because if we had a server breached at work, we wouldn't rush to shred it. Take it offline, make sure it doesn't communicate with the outside world anymore. But you want to get some good lot of data off it. Try and get some indicators of compromise that you could use to see if any other servers around your company were affected. I mean, it seems like they've actually done an audit of all their servers, because it did take them from April till, I was going to scroll up and look at the date, but they show your IP address if you do that. Anyway, it was around, I think, the 21st of October, so a few days after this news story. So incident scope. Here's one of these downplaying things. Look, I don't care if it's one server out of 3,000 or a million or whatever, or if it's one server out of 2. That's irrelevant. You got a breach. Whether they got in your entire company or one server, they still got it in. But there's a technical write-up. So it's data server in Finland. So it's a data center in Finland that they've been renting servers from. So the attacker had accessed information. This was done through an insecure remote management system account the data center had added without their knowledge. Should have done an audit on it sooner. Data center deleted user accounts the intruder exploited rather than notifying us. Well, good one to blame your data center supplier on. The intruder did not find any user activity logs because they did not exist. They did not discover users' identities, usernames, passwords because none of the applications send user-created credentials for authentication. They did acquire TLS keys that had already expired. That's funny, I'm sure another article said that had 7 months to expire. Or was it that they'd expired by the time of this report? Don't know. So isolated case, and they're just basically downplaying the whole thing. But they've come up with how they're going to make NordVPN more secure than ever, and I can see this is just trying to win people over again. Say you have got a plan, this is how you're going to make things better, accept the fact you've had a breach, but yeah, make it better. So what's to really complain about? I can't really have a go at them about things. Yes, it's taken them a while to notify their customers, but should they really be trusted? I'm dubious the whole thing. The amount of money spent in advertising something doesn't necessarily make it a good product. It's not necessarily true. And just because people start talking about things because they see them all the time, they start believing things are good, again, doesn't make it so. But as I've said, they do have a purpose if you really can't trust the network you're using. There you go, that was just a bit of news about NordVPN suffering a data breach. Thanks for watching, see you all later.